Today we're working on the timing on a 2015 Chevy Sonic LT 1.8 Ecotec. We're going to be accessing the crankshaft from behind the passenger wheel. Now, you can remove the wheel. A lot of people do that, and you do need to do that for actual timing belt changes, but I'm going to try to keep it on for this just to adjust the timing. I want to check out the timing. The vehicle's running really rough. So down here, this is the crankshaft. We're going to be rotating that and getting it to top dead center. But before doing that, we're going to start back at the top, removing the air filter housing here and the top cover of the timing belt. And so we can visually inspect the timing belt and see if there's any issues there. So let's just jump into that. So we're going to just loosen this with a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, and then remove this air filter housing. And that'll be the first step. And set that aside. And now with an E10, we're going to remove the top timing belt cover and just get a visual inspection to make sure that we're at top dead center, and just to make sure that everything looks normal with the timing belt. Because sometimes the timing belt, something could go wrong, could get loose, could skip a tooth, something crazy. Just make sure everything looks okay in here. Upon first inspection, everything looks normal. It's nice and tight. Everything looks good. No obvious problems right here with the phasers. Could be an issue with the phasers, but I don't see any issues just visualizing it like this. So let's go ahead and now rotate the crankshaft to top dead center. To do that, we're going to get underneath, and using an E18, we're going to rotate it by hand. And there are a couple of notches, one on the cover and one on the harmonic balancer. You can see those two notches right there. We want to line those two up. So this is really cool, so that we don't have to remove this, which would be a total pain in the ass. We are able to keep this on and rotate it so that they just line up like that. Beautiful. So now we know we may not be at top dead center, but this is the first attempt. And if this little dot is at the top, which it is, we have another little bump here that should be right there on the side, lined up approximately with this little indentation, this little circular indentation right here on the other phaser. That means we're at top dead center. If that's not like that, you're going to need to rotate that crankshaft one more time around until you see all those marks lining up on the phasers, which tell us that we're at top dead center. So I don't need to rotate it again. I think I'm already at top dead center. And now we're going to remove this. Unfortunately, we have to remove this entire valve cover right here. So we have to remove the valve cover. We're going to use a tool to check the camshafts and make sure that those are timed up properly. So we're going to now go ahead and remove this entire valve cover. Starting, we have to use a screwdriver, pry open these little side panel things here. There's one there, there's one here. Remove those with the screwdriver. This thing pops right off. It's Ecotec. Then there's usually a tab there. Mine's broken. Remove that from the ignition coil pack here. And now with the ignition coil pack, it's got two T40 bolts that we're going to move with a T40 bit. So T40, remove those two. And now we're just going to kind of pry out the ignition coil pack as such. Sometimes it's a pain in the ass. This one's coming up pretty easily. Next step, we have this little breather hose here. And there's a little guy on it here, that little clip that needs to be removed with some pliers. Try not to lose that clip. And once we get that clip out, the hose itself, you just need to rotate it a little bit and it pops right off. And once you've got that thing popped off, the little hose popped off, at that point in time, we're going back to the E10, the same one that we used to remove that top timing belt cover. And now we're going to remove all of these bolts. You don't have to remove them, you just loosen them because they stay with the valve cover. Check, make sure they're all loose, and the valve cover should pop off. Sometimes if it's been on a while, you might have to pry it off. You might have to use some kind of tool to pry it off. But if it's been off recently, it probably should come off fairly easily. So I can tell mine's going to come out. So we pop the baby off, take that off, make sure that your valve cover gasket is in nicely. That can be a pain in the ass, especially before you put it back on. Make sure that valve cover is all in there and it doesn't stick out somewhere when you put it on, because that could be disastrous. So, okay, now we have our camshafts. They are connected to each of these phasers by a bolt. Now, if that bolt wasn't tight enough, The camshaft could have come ever so slightly loose and messed up the timing. So everything looks okay here. We're going to come over here now, and we're going to check those camshafts to make sure that those are in time with the crankshaft. We already know the crankshaft's at top dead center. So we're going to take this tool here that we use for timing belt changes. And it includes this little gold, not always gold, but it's like a little ruler. I call it a ruler. And what we do is we're going to put that in these two notches at the end of the camshafts. And they should slide in pretty smoothly, pretty effortlessly when the crankshaft is at top dead center. And if it does, that tells me that the timing is okay. So I'm going to try it here. And in my particular case, didn't go in as smooth as I would like. The intake side goes in perfectly smooth, 100% smooth. I can slide it in and out. I can slide it side to side. It's absolutely perfect. This one is a little bit off. It really shouldn't be off by too much. It's close. I can almost get it in, but it's really tough. If I force it in, I might be able to get it, but that's not really what we want. That could be okay. That could be normal, but because it's not happening, I'm going to probably go ahead and make an adjustment here. For the purposes of the video, it may not fix my issue. But for the purposes of the video, I'm going to show you guys how to adjust the camshaft to make it so that that tool slides in 100% perfectly. And this is also anytime you need to adjust the camshafts, this is how we're going to do it. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so now what we need to do is remove the bolt from the phaser. Now the only one of these phasers has a problem as far as I can tell. It's this exhaust phaser. So I'm going to use a 24-inch wrench here. This is mandatory. You need the 24-inch wrench to hold on to the camshaft while we're removing and tightening the bolt. We need one of these T55 bits. Absolutely mandatory, because you don't want to strip anything. You could strip these bolts into the point that you can't remove it, and then you're in deep, deep crap. So first we start with this little cover. Now oil is going to spill out. So I'm going to grab a towel to make sure that oil doesn't fall down into the timing belt. Okay, so holding the wrench, and I'm going to be pulling the wrench towards me while I loosen the cap. Here we go. Okay, so pulling the wrench towards me and loosen the cap, and it loosens right up. The cap is the easy part. Once it loosens up, it'll screw right out, no problem. So now we have that out. Next step is the bolt. The bolt is going to be in there pretty freaking good. So we're going to pull, don't pull the wrench hard, but we're trying to just keep the camshaft steady, and using a breaker bar, we are going to loosen that bolt. So it's coming loose, and after 3 or 4 times with a breaker bar, now I can get it out. It's coming out nice and smooth with just a regular ratchet. So here comes that bolt. I'm going to just take it all the way out. You're supposed to replace this bolt technically, just so you know. So I'm going to replace mine, but some people say you don't have to. Probably don't have to, but better safe than sorry. So, okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the camshaft with the wrench, 24-inch wrench, until that ruler slides in and out. I'm having to pull it towards me. Clearly, not a ton, but enough that this could be the issue. Now, I'm going to pull it towards me so that ruler goes in and out. And when I put in the new bolts, I'm going to make sure that continuously that camshaft is in the spot where the ruler slides in and out smoothly. And that will hopefully put it back into correct timing. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the bolt. And like I said, I got a new bolt. Making sure everything is looking good. Holding the wrench where it needs to be. We're going to put in the new bolt. I'll start by hand. I'm going to then get a normal sized wrench using the T55 bit. With a normal wrench, I'm going to tighten it most I can. It will not be tight enough, not even close, but it will at least be tight enough to hold the camshaft in place while I go get the torque wrench. And then with the torque wrench, we're going to torque it to specs. Okay, so we have the regular wrench, just tightening it up now to the point that it gets kind of hard to do. Holding the camshaft in place with the wrench, double checking, making sure that the ruler's in place nicely. And here we go, tighten it as best as I can, as tight as I can. And now we're gonna get the torque wrench. Now the specs on the torque wrench for the 1.8 Ecotec, which is what we're working with, is 37 foot-pounds on the first go-round. So we're gonna go 37 foot-pounds until we hear a click. Once that gets to 37 foot-pounds, then you gotta do it again 150 degrees, followed by an extra 15 degrees. So here we go with the initial 37 foot-pounds until you hear a click. Okay, so we've heard a click there, and that means it's still not tight enough. We have to go another 150 degrees. What does that mean? I don't have a room to go 150 degrees without stopping. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the breaker bar and I'm gonna try to do about 75 degrees twice. 75 degrees approximately. If we do that twice, that adds up to 150. And then we'll do the extra 15 degrees. Right there. Here we go. Okay, so everything now is good to go. The ruler's still coming in and out nicely, very smooth. Everything's tightened up. It's time to put it back together. We're going to put the cap back on. We're going to go ahead and put everything back together because I believe we've got it good timing. If you want, you could rotate that crankshaft twice and see if the ruler still goes in and out smoothly. That would be a good idea. Also double check, make sure your crankshaft is still at top dead center. Mine is still good to go, top dead center. Everything looking good. And that's how you double check your timing and make sure your timing is right between the crankshaft and the camshafts on a 1.8 Ecotec. Put any more suggestions down below in the comments section. I'm going to now put this back together and see if that fixed my issue. I was getting all kind of timing codes and the vehicle's running extremely rough. So if you're getting those codes to do with timing, yeah, it could be a sensor, it could be something more simple, but this is how you would check your timing. But you know, any more suggestions, put them down below. And let's see if this fixed the baby. Okay. Started right up. No check engine. Okay. This thing needs gas. Alright, so it looks like we're running a lot more smooth here than we were before. No check engine light. So it looks like that it fixed the issue. I guess the camshaft just came ever so slightly loose from the phaser. So that's how you adjust your timing on a Ecotec 1.8. Let me know your thoughts. Hopefully this did the trick. We're looking good.